As the United States approaches its semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it offers a profound moment to look back at the trajectory of a nation that began as a fragile experiment in self-governance and grew into a global superpower. Here is a historical perspective on this milestone, along with the pivotal events that shaped the American narrative. The paradigm of the 250th anniversary. To understand the weight of a 250th birthday, it helps to look at America's previous milestone celebrations. 1876, the Centennial. Celebrated in Philadelphia, this milestone focused on industrial reconciliation and emergence. The nation was licking its wounds from a brutal civil war and showcasing its burgeoning industrial might, like Alexander Graham Bell's telephone, to the world. 1976, the Bicentennial. Coming on the heels of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and economic stagnation, the 200th birthday was used as a catalyst for national healing, marked by tall ships in New York Harbor and local grassroots celebrations. 2026, the semi-quincentennial. This milestone arrives at a time of deep reflection on the American experiment. It emphasizes a more inclusive retelling of history, acknowledging both the staggering achievements and the unfulfilled promises of the founding ideals. 7 great events that shaped American history. While thousands of moments built the nation, these 7 distinct eras and events fundamentally redefined the American trajectory. The foundational moment. By declaring that all men are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights, the founders did something revolutionary. They based a nation's legitimacy on an idea rather than geography, bloodline, or monarchical divine right. Two, the Constitutional Convention, 1787. If the Declaration was the soul of the nation, the Constitution was the operating system. In Philadelphia, delegates thrashed out a system of checks and balances, federalism, and separation of powers. While flawed, notably compromising on the institution of slavery, it created a resilient, amendable framework that has survived for nearly 2.5 centuries. The ultimate test of the American experiment. The Civil War answered 2 existential questions: whether a nation dedicated to liberty could survive while permitting slavery, and whether the Union was permanent or dissolvable. Abraham Lincoln's leadership and the subsequent 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments represented a new birth of freedom, fundamentally rewriting the American social contract. In 1869, the driving of the Golden Spike in Promontory, Utah, physically united the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. This sparked an unprecedented industrial boom. Fueled by massive waves of immigration, the U.S. transformed from an agrarian society into an urban, industrial behemoth, laying the groundwork for the modern global economy. The attack on Pearl Harbor dragged a hesitant, isolationist America onto the world stage. By the war's end, the U.S. had mobilized an arsenal of democracy that crushed fascism, established the Bretton Woods global financial system, and developed the atomic bomb. This era cemented America's status as the leader of the free world and a global superpower. 6. The Civil Rights Movement, 1954-1968. Led by figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and countless everyday citizens, this movement forced America to look into the mirror and confront its systemic racism. Through landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the nation took massive, painful, and necessary steps toward finally aligning its reality with its founding creed. From the Silicon Orchards of California to the creation of the Internet, American innovation spearheaded the transition into the digital age. This era shifted the global economy from manufacturing to information, fundamentally altering how human beings communicate, work, and live on a global scale. The historical perspective of America at 250 is best viewed not as a finished monument, but as an ongoing argument. The nation's history is a continuous tug-of-war between high ideals and complex realities. As the country marks this milestone, the central theme is the enduring resilience of a democratic framework designed to be questioned, amended, and perfected by each passing generation.